What's up, everybody? My name is Doug Medhin, aka Gobblecock. Today I will be teaching you some cool things on the material editor. We are going to have a see-through object. We will actually have a material light up our entire scene without having the need for a light. We will give you a decal material, and I'll give you something fun, a reflection texture, something that's dynamic, a mirror. Now I'm just gonna jump into Unreal Development Kit. Um, I will teach you guys how to unwrap, but because of a foul up I had earlier, it was really strange. I had a lot of things crash on me, so I'll give you an unwrapping tutorial along with normal and specular mapping in one thing if I get enough requests. Now, I already started with terrible cube material. To make a new material, just right click and click new material. Now, I'm just going to double click to go into the material editor. I'm going to go under texture, and I'm going to use my terrible cube texture. Now I'm going to now you can right click, go under texture, find new texture sample, or type it in here for your search, but I'm a hotkey horse, so I use T. I'm going to hold down T and left click. I'm going to put the black channel into diffuse, and I'm going to put our alpha channel into opacity masked. But we don't see much, even though the blue is supposed to be my alpha channel. The blend mode has to be changed to blend masked, and we see that our stuff is see-through. However, I'm just going to make it two-sided because it is, and we see that we have a nice blended texture. But we're going to make this texture light up our entire scene as well. To do that, I'm just going to hit Control-C, Control-V. But I don't want this entire texture lighting up our scene. I only want the green. To do that, we use something called a power. So I'm just going to type it in because I don't know the actual the hotkey for it. I'm going to take the green channel and plug it into the base, and I'm going to use a constant 1 vector as its exponent to bring out the green. To do that, you just hit 1, you hold down the number 1, and left click. And we plug that into exponent. And I'm going to boost it up by 5 just to see what happens, but I don't see any change. Why is that? Well, click on this little square, and it will bring it out in real time. Any change that you make will be brought out in real time. But I don't want it being lit up as it is. I want to multiply it by, I want to make it into a different color. To do that, we have to multiply it by a vector parameter. To do that, you hold down the M as in Michael key, left click for multiply, plug that into A, and we're going to update it in real time. So I'm just clicking on that box. I'm going to hit the V key, V for Victor, and left click. This is the vector param. Now, to save time, you can use a compile time, you can actually use a constant 3 vector by holding the 3 key and plug it and left clicking. But I'm not going to do that because you don't get the color palette that vector param actually does give you. So I'm going to up it by yellow. I want that kind of yellow. Just click on that and then click on V. You can also play around with the values a little, but I'm satisfied with this for time's sake, really. Going to click Accept New Color, plug the black channel into B, and we see that, and now we take the multiply into emissive, and we see that it's actually changed color. Sweetness. Now, let's make it light up our scene. I'm just going to close this out and save the changes. Now, in Mesh, I'm going to look for my terrible cube. I'm going to double click on it. I'm going to move it over here. And under material, I'm going to take the terrible cube and apply it. So it just goes under LOD info, elements, blah, 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 material, and bam. We see that nice little terrible cube. Yay. It's completely see-through as well. Let's give it, I'm just going to give it 6-sided dot collision. Let's try auto-convex, see what happens. Fuck it. Allow splits. There. Apply. Good enough. Close. Okay. Now under mesh, I'm just going to add said terrible cube. Now I'm gonna save my level because, you know, I remember what happened on my first tutorial. So now we have our terrible cube in all of its terrible gloriness. Now I'm going to go into its properties by double-clicking or just hitting F4. I'm fine with its collision. You don't. Sorry about the already upped things. We want to go into light mass. Light mass settings. Use emissive for light mass boost. And under a light mass boost, we want to up its value. I'm just going to hit 20 because I can. Doesn't have to be 20. I'm eyeballing this motherfucker. That's why. I'm cool with that. So I'm gonna close that. I'm going to build the lighting. Yeah, I don't care. Should I build? I should have built all. Fuck. Oh well. I could stop the build, but the swarm agent's already running. Fuck it. So I usually just build all. I never really just build one particular thing. Well, whenever. In either case, we see that we have a light. A very, very terrible light. It's actually lighting up our scene. Hooray! That's really, really bad. Who cares? Wow, that is really bad. So much. That midpoint is just terrible. Whatever. Anyway, let's add a decal now. I mean, like, you can. I'll show you a different, because I did do a terrible light earlier. Terrible tutorial light right there. And you can just add it into there. I'm just going to move it down. I'm going to do the same thing, actually. Okay, I'm not satisfied with the amount of grid spaces. So I'm going to hit the left bracket key to up its grid spaces. Why left bracket key gives you more grid spaces and right bracket key, like, takes away grid spaces, I don't know. In either case, I'm just going to move this up here. I'm going to control right click to rotate it in the front viewport. And let's bring it down there. Right about there. So the line lights are, yeah. So I'm just moving it down one. I'm gonna hit end again just to give it that much thingamabob. Now let's just uncheck use light mass boost. I mean, you can use more of an emissive boost if you really want to, but I don't want to. I'm actually going to just use the light bulb instead because, why not? 30. Build all this time. That's 530. I'm good. Did I not apply? Does this not have an emissive boost? Param none. It doesn't have a parameter. That is why. Purple is good. Okay. Save. Save. Build all. Let's see it. I will do an unwrapping tutorial, but like I'll actually combine it with normal and specular mapping via Sculptress. Much better. You can add more lights. You can add more emissive lighting if you really want to. But be forewarned, emissive lighting takes much longer than normal lights do. It can, in fact, crash Unreal, and has done so for me as well. And I'm running a $2,100 God machine. It takes longer to compile. It will give you either an exit code error 1 or exit code error 3, but I think exit code error 3 revolves around speed trees, and we'll get into that when people actually start requesting for a good terrain tutorial, which will include speed tree. We're actually good with that. Let's add a decal. Now, as I said, I imported a decal material, a terrible decal, which is that. And I'm going to go in material. I'm going to right click, but not new material. You want a decal material. I'm going to call it terrible decal 2 because I already have terrible decal 1. Now for the terrible decal, I'm going to take the terrible decal. I'm going to plug it into emissive. Now you want to make sure that the blend mode is modulate, and you'll see this little error, but that's because we want it to be unlit. And we see that we see that all that white is gone. We only see the green. We're cool with that. I'm going to save the current level. We're going to go into actor classes, and I'm going to search for decal. I'm going to go for decal actor, and with material, make sure that your decal is selected, and decal actor. Right click, add movable decal actor if you really want to, and boom, we have our decal actor in said MacGuffin.